Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m., November 4th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. This market has a big week ahead of it. Monster week. We have an election on Tuesday. We have 10-year note auction. We have FOMC on Thursday. Very big week. So, data and, of course, the election. Right? So, that's what's going on this week. We have earnings season continues. We have we'll go over that in a little bit. I think a lot of the big mega caps have reported. Just want to make sure I don't miss any here. We'll get into the earnings later, but that's what's going on. All right, market's kind of like bounced Friday, but then took all those winning, took all that back basically, and we're holding lower prices. So that's essentially what's going on right now. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. It's how I look at the market. All right, that's my roadmap. All right, now hopefully you guys or girls can join me every day at 8:10 a.m. All right, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, drive in your car. I'll give you the recap. All right, give you the recap of the market, what's going on in the market news, economic calendar, leaders and laggers, and basically what's going on, the story of the markets. And hopefully you can join me. All right. And if you do enjoy my content, you could do it now or later. Smash that like button. That'd be much appreciated. Okay. Much appreciated. All right. And now, what we do here is, like I just said, we go over all the news and stuff, and then we go over daily charts. All right. Then at 8:30, it's the main event. We go over the market profile and volume profile. That's how I find that's my edge. And that's how I look at the markets. All right, it gives me a roadmap, and we do a long and short trade scenarios there. That's what we do there, right? And then once I do that, that gives me the roadmap or the blueprint for the market open. But that's new data, right? Now I do make trading videos that are educational. You can find them on my X account, that's at Gonzo719. You can also go to my YouTube Shorts. All right, check those out. You can also follow me on TikTok at Gonzo719Trader. Now I have 3 videos I'm editing right now. Okay, and like I said last month, I had computer hiccups. I had lost my gamma levels that I had to recreate and code myself. Um, I started trading futures again. Changed my There's just a lot of changes that happened last month. So I have 3 videos that I'm editing now that I'm going to export soon. So those will be coming. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to go right into the watch list here. Let's check out what's going on with the futures. All right. Here we are. Okay. No surprise here. The VIX is up 2.79%. It's at 22.49. Okay. That's because of the election. All right. People are hedging up for that election. All right. Now, crude, I saw that Iran's planning to retaliate against Israel. I saw also OPEC speaking. So crude is up 2.73%. It's at $71.41 a barrel. 30-year bonds, okay, are being bought. They are up 1.04% today. Okay. Silver's up 0.72. Gold up 0.15. ES up 0.08. It's moving around on me here. The Dow is flat. The Nasdaq is flat. All right. The dollar is flat. Russell's down 0.09. Bitcoin's down 0.34, under 70K. Ether's down 1.56, and the 10-year yield. So people are buying bonds today. Now we have a bond auction, 10-year note auction on Tuesday. Okay, and the 10-year yield is down 1.68%. It's down to 4.27 yield. That's pretty hefty. there. Okay, so very interesting, very interesting. I think just on technical, just on technical, bonds are oversold. All right. Now, I don't use that as a trade, but it's just a fact. I mean, they need something needs to happen, right? When we got an election coming, who knows? FOMC's coming, and that's also a pretty nice little deal on 10-year notes. Okay, so we have to see. Now, Mag 7 Plus here. Let's see who's leading the pack. Nvidia. Nvidia is up 1.5%. So 1.5%. All right, they are up. Now, Boeing is up 0.14. That's it. All right, now let's go to the heavy laggards. Apple down 0.67. Uh, Meta's down 0.73. Amazon's down 0.87. Eli Lilly is down 1.47. Tesla is down almost 2%. Now, I did see Boyd, which is a China electric vehicle manufacturer, had very good sales, I believe. I don't know if that has something to do with it. Let's see here. No. All right. That's what's going on in Mag 7. Let's go to the top sector stocks here. Chevron. Chevron is up 1.06 with crude. All right. Then you got Salesforce up 0.79, followed by Exxon up 0.77. The only little laggards here are as Uber down 0.20 and United Healthcare down 0.27. Okay. Moving on to the swing trade list. Look at the other stocks that are moving here. Okay, Viking Therapeutics is up 5.65. Chewy up 5.05. Sherman Williams is up 3.64. That's basic materials. What else here? Dell up 3.16. Roblox up 2.64. For solar is up 2.23. Enphase, so it looks like solar energy, up 1.75. Abercrombie and Fitch is up 1.59. Here you go. TLT. All right. Remember, I said again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I bought some TLT last week, and that is up 1.56%. Lucid's up 1.36%. Dev Energy up 1.25%. Tilray up 1.22%, and Baba is up 1.13%. And Taiwan Semiconductors up 1.09%. Look at the laggards here. Donald Trump stock down 3.47%. Super Microcomputers continues to fall, down 2.96. Palantir is down 1.74. I think that's Marriott. Marriott is down 1.61. Reddit down 1.40. Intel, just to let you know, Intel is going to be removed from the Dow and replaced with Nvidia. Okay. SoFi up 1.09. I mean down 1.09. Citibank down 1.04%. All right, that rounds out the laggards. All right, moving on to the guts sectors. All right, let's see who's leading the pack here. Energy up 0.82, followed by semis up 0.34. That's your Nvidia. Real estate's up 0.28. Technology's up 0.28. That would be your Nvidia as well. Okay, now down, got financials down 0.15. Discretionary, that's your Tesla, down 0.27, and your Amazon and your Home Depot. And then you got utilities down 0.58. All right, that's your Duke Energy and your NextEra Energy. Okay. That is rounding out sectors. Okay. Now, we can go right into economic calendar here. Right. Let's do that. I'm not sure who's with me today. Rosita's has been busy. I haven't seen her in a little bit in this room. Not sure who else is joining us right now, but welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're old. All right, let's look at the week. All right, let's look at that week. We have today factory orders, not really a market mover, right? Tuesday, we have the election. That's huge, huge, huge. We got global services composite. We got ISM services. We have the 10-year note auction. That is all on Tuesday. Big day, Tuesday, election. Wednesday, 30-year bond auction, okay, at 2 p.m. Thursday, initial jobless claims, and you have the FOMC. So just a monster week, okay. Then on Friday, a Michigan consumer sentiment followed by Fed Bowman. That's what we have as far as economic calendar. Now, if we go to the earnings, okay. Earnings here, almost 200. I don't know what almost 200 is, but welcome, Rosita. Um, Here we go. Let's see here. Earnings today, we had Marriott, Berkshire Hathaway. Um, that was all before the open. So Berkshire Hathaway, I just saw they sold a bunch of Apple again, and they're up a lot of money. Let's see here. All right. After the close today, so Palantir is down before their earnings. So they report after the close. Let's see here. HIMS reports, the Win reports today after the close. Illumina, Goodyear. All right. Now before the open tomorrow, let's see who we have. Nobody that's to note. After the close tomorrow, we have Supermicro Computers, Devon Energy. What else? Coupang. All right. iRobot. All right. That's all I'm going to talk about because we can hammer this each day. Let's go over to some news. Oh, my subs. Yes, 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 yes. Almost. Almost. All right. Go back to our news. Let's see here. Now, Nvidia stock rose 1.5% after the S&P Dow Jones and indices. I just told you this before. After the S&P Dow Jones indices said on Friday the company would replace Intel. Okay, Trump stock fell 7.6 as investors reassessed Donald Trump's chances of winning. Marriott stock fell 2.3 after the hotel operator cut its annual profit forecast. Boeing's handing back some of the previous session's strong gains, with the plane maker's West Coast factory workers set to vote on an approved contract offer that could end a 7-week strike. Roblox stock rose 3.3 after Morgan Stanley upgraded its stance on the game platform to overweight from equal weight, saying its shares could be more than double. All right. Now, Funware stock slumped 11% after the mobile advertising company said that CFO Troy Reisner is stepping down. Sherwin-Williams stock rose 4.6 following the news that the paint and coating manufacturing company would be included in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So two stocks being included in the Dow Jones. Viking Therapeutics stock rose 5.4 after the biotech posted data on its oral weight loss drug showing better than expected results from phase 1 trial. Now, I wonder if that Viking Therapeutics is the reason Eli Lilly is down. So interesting. Interesting. All right, let's go to more news. Let's see if there's anything more. Berkshire cash soars to $325 billion as Buffett sells Apple. Bank of America operating profit falls. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway extended their retreat from stocks in the third quarter, further slashing holdings in Apple and boosting cash to a record $325.2 billion. All right, let's see. Just want to see if there's any news that is important. All right, here we go. Tesla. U.S. automaker sold 68,280 China-made electric vehicles in October, down 5.3 from a year earlier. Data from the China Passenger Car Association showed deliveries of China-made Model 3 and Model Y vehicles fell 22.7% from the previous month. Here's what I was talking about. Chinese rival BYD, with its Dynasty and Ocean series of EVs and plug-in hybrids, hit another monthly record with a 66.2 year-on-year increase in passenger vehicle sales to 500,526 units last month. Overseas shipments made up of 6% of total shares, according to BYD filing. The U.S. EV company third quarter revenues beat estimates. Wow, that's what I was talking about. It still outsold BYD in EV shipments last quarter, but was bested by the Chinese rival in revenue terms. That's what I was talking about earlier. Chevron looks like Charter Communications looks like Bernstein raises target price to 385 from 380. Chevron Raymond James raises target price to 175 from 170. Remember, I bought Chevron a couple months back. Um, Again, not financial advice, but that's doing pretty nicely now. Let's see here. We're done here. We're done here. Let's look at the juice. See if the juice. All right, dollar fell. U.S. Treasuries rose as investors reversed their bets on Donald Trump winning the presidential election after the weekend poll showed Harris gaining ground. Interesting. Um, so it says an ABC News in I don't know Ipsos poll shows Harris with a 49 to 46 nationwide lead over Trump in the battle for the White House, while a New York Times Siena survey released Sunday showed the Democratic nominee ahead in 5 of 7 key states. Interesting. Interesting. Um, okay, we'll move on from that. We'll go to upgrades, downgrades. Okay, upgrades, downgrades. Let's refresh here. Let's see if there's any new ones here. All right, a couple new ones. Let's see here. Charter Communications, upgrade. Peloton, upgrade. Underform to buy. Roblox, equal weight to overweight. We mentioned that earlier. All right, let's go to downgrades. Downgrades, we have really nothing to note that I would say here. All right, initiations, let's talk about those. Nothing to net here. Price target changes. This is a hit or miss lately. Visa target raise. T Rowe price group target raise. MicroStrategy target raise 225 to 275. LI Auto target raise 22 to 31. Hyatt Hotels target raised. Chevron target raised. Comcast target raised. Charter Communications target raised. Kava target raised. Cardinal Health target raised. A lot of target raised today, huh? Amazon target raised. ADP target raised. Wayfair. All right, now we get into target lowers. Wayfair target lowered. Let's see here. All right, I think we're done there. All right, I think we're done. I think we went over news, we went over earnings. All right, I think we're going to move over to the dailies. Move over to those daily charts. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. What did we do last week? Let's zoom it in here. All right, so remember, express chart here. Orange is last week's highs and lows, which would mean not last week, like the week we just had, the prior week. So what did we do? Well, we made new weekly ranges, right? We went below the previous week's range, right? We went all the way down to the 50, bounced right off the 50-day moving average, and then look on Friday, we was like came right up to Thursday's highs, and then failed and closed back, right? So we kept the lower prices. We kept the lower prices. Okay. Now, where are we at now? 571. Let's call it 571.72. 571.72. So 571.72 is in the lower third of Friday's session. So this is bearish structure because now you're below the prior week's range, holding lower prices. So the market is accepting these lower prices, right? You tried to go up here, you couldn't, and we're back down here. All right, let's look at the live look of futures. There we are. So exactly what I'm saying, right? So came pushed down, now you're holding lower prices, right? Right at the 50-day moving average in futures. All right, let's move to the Qs. What did the Qs do? Zoom out here. Oh, I should have the anchor view up here. I don't know why that's not there. Why is that not there? That should be there. Interesting. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just. This should have the anchor VWAP. Yes, yes, yes. It does. All right. See this dashed line? I just want to make sure that that's there, that anchored VWAP for the year. Okay. Okay. So let's look at the Qs. Let's look at the Qs. All right. So what did we do in the Qs? All right. So in the Qs, you didn't quite make it up to the previous day's highs, but then fell off and came right down. Now look at the difference. Remember, prior week's range, right? You stayed in the Qs. Structurally, the Qs is relatively stronger. Okay, relatively stronger because it stayed within the prior week's range. Okay, so that's a little feather in the cap for the Qs. Where are the Qs now? 487.80. All right, so they are right here, almost at the middle of the range of Friday. Okay, but accepting lower prices. So we're still accepting lower prices. So we'll have to see what happens there today. Now let's go to the Qs futures. Let's look at the futures. Okay, and the Q futures, see, push down. This is last week's range here, and we're holding right there, lower prices. Now, what do we do? Do we break down lower? Pretty significant support here around 198.50, right? Just have to see. Remember, we got an election tomorrow. So think about that. Really have that in your head today. Election is tomorrow. I don't see anything crazy happening today, but always the market could surprise us. But who wants to hold the bag, all right, for tomorrow? Now, something could happen today because the election's not, we don't know anything till tomorrow night to possibly the following couple days about the election. So even today, something could happen, but still, at the end of the day, who wants to be overly short or overly long going into the election when we don't know what the heck's going to happen, right? So that's what's going on there. So that is your daily charts. All right, I'm not sure if I put this up yet. I probably did, but we're going to go into our triple headed monster. All right, and let's look at that 10-year yield here. Let's put that up there. Let's put that up there. It's kind of reversing this move. Okay, you had a nice move right here with non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Now you're starting to come back down, right? So, like I said, if you can take out the supports here at 4.1 and go below the 200-day moving average, you know, bonds are being bought today. Today. Okay, FOMC this week, election this week. Like I said, this is a pretty nice deal on a 10-year note. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let's go to the second head of that monster. It's just the dollar. And the dollar is in a range. But the dollar, see this range here? Now you're pushing the bottom of the range. Can you go currently under the 200-day moving average? Can you go? And this is very poor structure here. So this could get speed up pretty nicely with the FOMC. All right. With the election, who knows what will happen? Okay. The VIX. Remember, this is not the fear gauge right now. This is the hedge gauge. Okay. This is the hedge gauge. Remember, I said for months on end now, I said this VIX will not usually probably go down until after the election. This is not fear. This is hedge. People are hedging. Okay, that's all it is. All right, moving on to the main event. Market profile, volume profile. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now I did today actually. I sweetened my charts up a little bit. And now I do have kind of an express chart on my Mocha profile and Vine profile. I do have weekly and monthly levels just like I do on Thinkorswim. So it's pretty nice. I found those. I love to have them on my charts. It's always nice to know where the prior week and prior month range are. Those are very big levels. All right. Everybody pays attention to those. Okay. So here we are. And just like on my Thinkorswim charts, you'll notice on my charts, the oranges is last week's highs and lows. The whites is last month's highs and lows. Same thing, but now they're on the futures chart. All right, so I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I just love to look at those levels. Okay, So let's get into structure. I think I put this up. I'm losing my mind today. In a market profile, buy profile, I'll put it up twice. I'll put it up twice. All right, let's get into what we're looking at, right? So on Friday, we opened up, pushed a little down. Now, man, I wanted to get long there, and I didn't have the right risk. So I waited for a little push up, and then I waited for the push. I'm gonna make a video about this, but I waited for the push down the VWAP, and there was single prints here that I got eaten into, and I rode that puppy all the way up into this supply zone right here. Very nice trade, to over 200% winner. So I will be, like I said, I owe you guys some videos. I'm editing those currently. Okay, so that's what happened. But guess what happened? Once you double top there, we closed down here. Okay, so we're holding lower prices now. Ultimate bounce is up here. All right, that level is 58.70 and 58.80. Right. However, look at the most trader price in the 24 hours has moved down here. So this should move down here, which means, remember I always say this, that means that value is following price now. Right? Now, if we didn't have an election and stuff like that, this is a little more powerful. But usually when the most part of price moves down lower, that's the market. Value follow price now. And usually you will probably get another leg lower. Okay. However, just watch this. Most likely 57.61 will become the most traded price of the week today. Okay, but it hasn't in the real-time trading hours, but it might at the market open. All right. So let's look at some levels together. This is our Friday high. Has a weak high. Not a lot of excess at that high. Okay. Now, if you notice, this is right on my charts already. Look where the market failed. Look, see these? This is why I love having these on my chart. That is the prior week's lows. So it came into the prior week's lows and couldn't get back into the range. Now look, this is the prior week's range. You could see it right in the orange right there. So that's why it's important to have those big levels on the charts. Now I do have them on Thinkorswim. I always know of them, but now having them on my futures chart is key, especially since I'm trading futures again. It's just so key, right? And then look, this is the prior month's lows right here. So we couldn't break the prior month's lows. So these are just big levels you need to have on your charts, all right? Always be cognizant of those big levels, okay? All right, so we're at price right now, right here. I forgot to look at our profile. There's our profile, thin up there. And then we're building value down here, right? All right. So price is here, 57.66. All right, we're inside Friday's range, right? Inventory, check this out. Right here, this is the only short activity right there to all this long. So we're almost 100% net long, right? And we're building a lot of volume up at the top here. Okay. So that's interesting. 100% net long, building volume up here. So longs are up here, right? Now this can also be a nice fade from that. We'll see. But that is a little edge right there. 100% net long. We'll have to see. Okay. Now, let's look at some other levels. Like I said, I do this live with you guys. So, all right. So we got weak lows here. 57.34, 57.33. Notice last week's lows. There's our orange, right? 57.32.50 is last week's lows. So this is our week low. Okay, and no pun intended for the weekly, but it's the week lows here. Okay, you got a big demand zone here. Keeps getting defended. So that's a big level. Write it down. 57.32 in futures. Okay, that is a big level. Now we have a weak high here. Okay, 57.78 is the most traded price of Friday. Look where it lines up with the overnight high. Okay, the overnight high. So 57.78 is a weak high. Also have a supply zone right here as well. Now remember, this is our month to date anchored VWAP. Sellers are in control of the month. So far, the month has only started since Friday, right? This is our week to date VWAP that just started. So they will show more importance as obviously time goes on. All right, so we're looking at, like I said, 57.32, 57.78. Those are key levels. Okay, those are key levels. Now, we also have another one, like 58.03. The Friday's highs is in supply, and you have a gap that is unfilled right there. Okay, so those are like points that you just want to pay attention to. And then we're going to make scenarios based on those. Okay, we're going to make scenarios based on those levels. Okay. Okay. So, what do I want to see here? Right? So, I will go on the side of probability here, and we'll start with the long scenario. Okay, we'll start with longs. Okay, so remember what I said, 57.32 right here. Look, last week's lows is a weak low right here. And you got demand. So in this area here, what are the buyers? The buyers need to defend there. So remember, we're 100% net long. So this could definitely be a correction. We could definitely come up to the supply, come down here, and this could be a little bear trap, break last week's lows, right? And if we do one of these, lower high, you bet I'd want to get long. And you're probably going to take a little off here at the most traded price of the last week, 57.61, and see what we do when we go to 57.78. Remember, this is a weak high. Lines up with the most traded price of Friday and the overnight high. So if we take this out and take that supply and you hold and hold, we're going to try to test 58.03. Remember, 58.03 is Friday's highs. Also, I believe that's Thursday's highs. Close to it, right? Because you have the gap. There's a supply zone here, which caused selling on Friday. What do we do when we get here, right? Because if we start to work ourselves through this into the gap, break this, possibly fill that gap. 58.40 would be a gap fill. Okay? That's kind of my ultimate long scenario. Okay? That's kind of really what I would be like to look for. Okay? As far as bearish, we have our 57.78. Remember, sellers want to defend this right here. Okay? Sellers want to break last week's lows. Okay, and then if sellers will step up in this big supply zone up here with Friday's high. So remember, we just use these in the inverse in the scenarios. Okay, now of course, what could happen? Couple things. Remember, 100% net long. So if you're thinking of you're a bear, I would like to push up into this supply into this weak high, which happens to also be the POC. Now the POC just means that's the most time spent at that price on Friday. If you get failure here, lower high, you definitely look. You come through this most traded price of the overnight around 57.63. You are probably going to take this out, and you're going to go down and test Friday's lows. I'm sorry, overnight lows. And here you go to this week low, 57.32, last week's lows. Do you break this? Because if you do, you're going to hit last month's lows. last month's lows. Okay, that is 57.25. If you break that, let's see where we can go. Let's lift this chart up a little bit. All right, we needed to do that. All right, so I can tell you where it could possibly go. So if you break, um, hmm, that's weird. Just noticed something on that chart. Don't know why that happened there. That's kind of weird. Anyway, because I'm trying to see with this indicator. This is, remember, that doesn't make sense, right? 57.32 is up here, and it moves down. That doesn't really make sense because that should be here, right? So anyway, I don't like that. I know this is live here, so I'm disregard that right now. But if we do move down, okay, and we break this, I just wanted to tell you guys, most traded price, not sorry, uh, 5,700 is well within the sights here, okay, well within the sight if you break that. But like I said, I don't know how much movement we get before the election. I don't really think that's um, in the cards there. So interesting why that indicator did that. I don't, that's bothering me, right? Because right here it makes sense. 57.32 is right here. That's showing me on the chart. But then like I move the chart and it keeps that level there. I don't understand how it's not moving with the chart. That's very, very weird. Okay. Um, anyway, that's what it did. So I don't know why that did that, but your boy will fix that. All right. So anyway, let's move over to the Nasdaq and let's see what's popping here. We can move up a little bit. All right. Interesting why that's happening there. Okay. Here we are with our Nasdaq. That's really throwing me off that level. All right. Here we go. Profile, big profile, obviously with that big dip, woo, all the way down. And the most traded price of the 24-hour chart has moved lower of the week, right? That has moved lower. You got your most traded price of the week in the RTH, and the month RTH is all the way up here, real-time trading hours. Okay, that's where they are. And now we have some levels here, right? Now you can see the kind of double bottoms here in these sessions in the Nasdaq. Okay, two double bottoms. Now I have a level here. It's a high volume node, 250 right here. Notice that the market could not get through this high volume node, which I didn't think it might not, right? That's why they're there, to let me know that there's a high volume node there, and you can see it's been defended. I could show you on a bigger chart later of why. Okay, so let's look at what we're doing here. Okay, Nasdaq only pushed down that much, drove all the way up, cleaned some of these singles, right, and then had some selling, right, and went back basically to the middle of the range. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay, now let's look at what's going on. So we're at the middle of, now this is at the middle, we're in the middle of the overnight session, basically in the middle of the arch. So that's not a great location right now. That's really not. Okay, really not a great location, but we have some key levels here. So 266 to 57, that's a weak low. Also has a pretty nice demand zone here that's been held. Okay, so that's a level you want to pay attention to. Okay, that's a level you want to pay attention to. The other level you want to pay attention to is 202.49. Okay, this happens to be value area high of Friday and the overnight low. And you also have a supply zone right here. So that's what we're looking at today. That to me is the levels. Remember, value area is 70% in between value areas. So this green area, that's 70% of the trading happened Friday. So when you get to the value area high, that's very important, right? Because 70% of the trading volume, if you were short there and you go above it, you're going to probably cover. Okay? So again, overnight high, value area high, very important, 202.49. Okay? Now, then I said 265 to 257. So we're really looking about the overnight high and low, very important in NASDAQ. Okay? Very important. And basically you have supply here and demand here. So very, very simple. And you can see here in the NASDAQ, you don't have that 100% net long. See that you opened here, had this much short to this much long. So you don't have the same longs. It's more balanced. The ES is more 100% net long. So this is more balanced in the NASDAQ. Okay. So let's get right into scenarios. Okay. Pretty simple here. And we'll start with the longs. We'll start with longs. Okay, so pretty simple. Remember, now you got the high volume node, composite high volume node 250. That's this box, right? So that's holding the market, the Nasdaq, right? We got two levels. I didn't talk about this one. 200. So 20009. That's a weak low as well, right? That's also in the demand zone. And you have this level here, right at the bottom of this demand, that 257 level. Okay, demand zone. Okay, so what do I want to see here? Remember, this is the week high, 202.49. Bulls want to break it. Sellers want to defend it. Okay, so what do I want to see? All that matters to me is what do we do if we come down here? What do we do if we come down here? There's single prints here. So we could definitely have a bear trap here into this high volume composite high volume node here and do one of these. Whoop. Then you're going to want to get long. Probably target the most traded price of the 24-hour session. That's 201.70. And see what we do if we can come up to this week high at 202.49. If you break that, hold, you're going to rip into the single prints and you should clean them. And the bottom of the gap is 203.69. That's the bottom of the gap. Okay, then you have the most traded price of the month, which is like 204.40. Maybe we make it up there. I don't know, but I'll be very interested in what I just said. Okay, so second to the bear. All right, what I would like to see for the bear. Okay, a push up into this supply. If this week high 202.49 gets defended, like boop, lower high, you're gonna start to want to take some profits here at the most traded price of the week in the 24-hour, and then go through these singles and this week low here. Now, like I said, this 250 is a large composite high volume node right here. That's been defended multiple times. We could possibly break here, go into this demand. There's another demand zone here. And I would think we maybe bounce here. I don't think we go too far. Okay? I don't think we go too far. Now, this is crazy how... Ooh. Okay, so where do I think we would go? You know what? I'm not going to say that because I really don't see us falling that much. I mean, I really just don't. I think I'm going to wrap that up. Now I'm going to show you the composite volume node, okay? In NASDAQ. So 250, right? I want to show you what that looks like. So price is right here. Now 250 is right this node right here. Right there. You see how thick this high volume node was? And I was saying the market really, now look where it came to, right at the bottom of it. See that? And then it bounced. Because if you break this, right? If you break this, you do have this level here, right? But you break this, there's not much stopping us from really going down to the most traded price of the year, of the rolling year, 187.79. Now, like I said, I don't think that happens, but that I'm just showing you it's a big cliff here and a big fall, right? So the market wants to hold this and come back through here and hold this to see if Santa Claus comes to town, all right? That's how the market works, all right? All right, so we'll get that over there, and that will be it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, smash the like button. Apologize for that little, those new weekly levels. They shocked me a little bit as they moved. But what you call it? So we have our plan today. I like it. Now Mondays for me, I like to let them settle in a little bit because it's kind of like you have the weekend and they kind of are a little weird in the morning sometimes. You don't get rolling until the next day, and obviously tomorrow's the election. So we'll just have to see how this market pans out. But we do have our plan. All right, we do have our plan. And like Rosita said, I'm almost at 200 subs. Hopefully, if you're new, you can subscribe. All right, set an alert. Join me every day at 8, 10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea. Let your boy give you the recap. Let you know what's going on and what's the story of the markets. All right, now stay green, everybody. No trade is a trade. And I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. All right, have a great